Fellow viewers, welcome to another episode of our View on Cry Out TV. I am Theodore Ngumba, your humble host. Today, we will, for the umpteenth time, decry the kidnapping of Southern Cameroonians by secessionist fighters. Those who have been following our programming remember episode 6, where we used the kidnappings of the Bakweri chiefs to highlight what was becoming an unfortunate and dangerous trend in the Anglophone struggle. In episode 23, we exposed Ebenezer Akwanga as the kidnapper-in-chief. Following our investigation of the kidnapping of priests in Munyenge by his Sokadef hoodlums, at the time, we were accused of leaving no stone unturned and sparing no effort to destroy the Anglophone struggle. As fate will have it, time has proven us to have been inexcusably right. Today, it is the same knuckleheads who vehemently refused to acknowledge that their fighters were party to this odious and glaring reality. Enter Chris Obene Anu, aka Chris Anu, Pastor John Egiawan, and Tapang Ivo Tanku. The first two appeared on ABC Amba TV, where they not only accepted that Amba boys have been involved in countless kidnappings, but also proceeded to name some of the perpetrators and their locations.
Yes, Secretary Chris, I want to say that this kidnapping, harassment, and all this extortion is something that is really affecting the people of AMBAZONIA, especially those on ground zero, and even family members overseas. And these acts are being perpetrated mostly by militias or thieves, people who are trying to use this revolution for their personal gain. Some of these people, when they started, they didn't start like this, because I even have some audios where some commanders confessed how they were being urged or coached into into taking ransom or into trying to get money from people. You know, and some of these people, when they start testing this money and they see that the money is good, they abandon their local government or the leadership of the people that have been taking care of them, because they look as if the money we are giving them is nothing, and they feel like their allegiance to us is that money. And this is a very serious problem in this revolution right now. And so far as this Department of Self-Defense and Security is concerned, it is our a very high priority for us to stem out all types of kidnappers, ransom taking, terrorizing of our civilian on ground zero. We will not stop at anything but to make sure AMBAZONIA is clean from these rogues and thieves, these recalcitrant people that are trying to disturb or destabilize our revolution, be it agents from La République du Cameroon or be it agents of business people in the diaspora who are trying to use this as an opportunity to make money or settle scores. We will stem this out. We will get rid of all of them. I can guarantee you that. We will not stop at anything.
All right, Comrade John, just last evening, I received a phone call from Bambeli of a rogue group calling themselves Restoration Forces, going into the university in Bambeli and abducting, I think, 12 university students from their hostels. One was killed, and I don't know what happened to another one, but 9 or 10 are still in their custody. Now, these boys want the public to believe that they are fighting for AMBAZONIA. I called them this morning. I got their contact and I called them this morning. And I said, hey, this is Secretary Chris calling. And they were like, did you say you are Chris or secretary? but they have 9 or 10 university students in their custody as I speak. And I ask them, so what do you need? What do you want? Marcellus Atanga, ladies and gentlemen, look at me, eyeball to eyeball. Marcellus Atanga lives here in the USA. We have credible evidence that Marcellus Atanga is behind most of the kidnappers and the ransom takers in Mancon, in Maifo, in Queen, and part of Bamenda as a whole. So, Mr. Secretary, what do you do? What do you have to do? It falls under your department. What do you have to do with people like Marcellus Atanga, the insult Foncha of the world? The other guy in Europe is called, is it Songong or what's the name? Is this Sufo Songong or something like that? These are the guys, ladies and gentlemen, who are behind some of these kidnappings on Ground Zero. The name Marcellus Atanga rings a big bell. He is responsible for some of the most or majority of the kidnappings and ransom takings in Queen, in Mancon, my 90, my 4, my 6, my 5 in Queen. So, Mr. Secretary, what do you do with these perpetrators in the diaspora?
Secretary Chris, we can report them as terrorists, and we can report them as criminals to their various countries where they are. I would really like to go deeper and to get into that evidence, and we'll talk with the different actors, the judiciary, and the legal department, and then the Department of Foreign Affairs, so that we can take the appropriate action to hold people who are involved in sponsoring or encouraging a criminal act like that in AMBAZONIA. We can hold them responsible no matter which country they are.
Yes, Mr. Secretary, talking about other enablers in this act of kidnapping and ransom takings, we are also very much aware that some leaders, I don't know what I should even describe them as leaders or describe them as thugs in this revolution have also been involved. Cho Ayaba, AGC, their team in Mancon has also been involved in this in this kidnapping, ransom taking, and stealing. I'll give you one good example. It was Cho Ayaba's boys who kidnapped John Frundi, Chairman John Frundi, demanded money. Cho Ayaba's boys are also the ones that killed the warden, returning, I think, from Akum or Penin or Santa. We all saw the gory images. Then they pretended, went ahead, arrested some 3 people and said, these are the guys who killed Florence Ayafo. This is what they are doing on the ground. Cho Ayaba's AGC ADF, they are going into the villages, into the towns, I even learned allegedly into some schools, and they are saying to the villagers, tasking the villagers, some have to pay, women have to pay 2,000, some men have to pay 3,000 in some places, some women have to pay 5,000, men have to pay 10,000. They are collecting this money from indigents, from people who, because of this same war, have lost jobs, have lost their businesses, and they are taking this money from them. They have, they are all over the place, in Batipol, in Wabane local government, taking, putting pain, abducting people, taking ransom from our people. What is it going to take until something is done to these ADF thieves?
Secretary Chris, I want to just let you understand that so far as ADF is concerned,
what some failed to realize was that Misters Anu and Egiawan almost entirely focused on the criminal activities of the ADF. They mentioned Opopo and Sokadev. However, there was a conscious effort to avoid mentioning the atrocities of interim government-affiliated fighters like Obasi Ekeku in Dieni. In a subsequent production, we will expose the criminal activities of this armed robber turned Ambazonian general. Chris Anu himself has been involved in kidnapping for ransom. It was the Red Dragons with Chris Anu's own blood brother as its leader who collected 20 million CFA francs for the release of Professor Ivo Leke Tambo. As we predicted in episode 6, this particular case had opened the door for people to make easy money. Pastors should stop the ballooning. Their fighters have blood money on their hands. In the last few days, a statement made by Tapang Ivo Tanku has stirred a lot of dust. It was shocking, debasing, and criminal for the ADF spokesman to air such misbegotten views. Listen to this disgraceful statement.
Ambazonians, any man will get EMA opener. So if your relative, your uncle, your brother, they go down for ground zero for this December, tell you may keep 3 million. May keep 3 million as a pay. As a pay, that means a arrival tax. Because if you go to ground for La Republique, by the time you arrive for airport, La Republique don't cut money for taxes, for airport tax. Before you enter for La Republique, buy anything, taxes, money, you pay taxes. By the time they will arrest you for La Republique, they won't move you. You must pay bail. Now for instance, Ambazonia, I want to face it at the freest country in the world. You know, go waka. I don't care whether you stand now with the struggle or you not stand with the struggle. But they talk na things they will go hella boys there for ground zero for arm themselves. And they talk na thing we go hella boys there for ground zero for put gun for inside their pocket. So make a show on a picture where they come up from ground zero. When they see them, the picture this way they come up from ground zero. This woman, as we talk, infiltrate ground zero. As we run a show for the last 2 weeks, say La Republique du Cameroon, they don't disguise woman there.
Many remain embittered by these incendiary statements and wonder what possessed Tapang to defile and devalue Southern Cameroonians to such a low level. The truth is that Tapang merely confessed what the ADF gangs have been doing in the name of the struggle. In his absurdity and insanity, he revealed their ADF's criminal intent and activities. The ADF tried to defend themselves by claiming that Tapang spoke as an individual and not on behalf of the ADF. If you believe the ADF, then you probably think it is genius to eat a sandwich made of razor blades. The ADF, its warlords and hirelings know exactly what is going on in their camp in Alabukam. It is becoming evident that this particular camp is more interested in collecting ransoms than doing any fighting. Some have come out to defend Tapang, saying that because he lives in America, he can exercise his rights to freedom of speech. While the freedom of speech is indeed guaranteed and respected, making incriminating statements in the name of freedom is bubble-headed. When we complained about the kidnappings carried out by Amber boys, we were called blacklegs. Today, it is the mouthpieces of Ambazonia who are confessing to this crime. What happened to all your drollery about how Amber boys were angels? Who did not do anything wrong? You always defended the crimes of your subordinates by blaming everything on their Tangaji boys. Chris Anu and John Egiawan know very well that they have to contend with the legal system in America as they continue to be investigated by federal authorities and lawsuits start to pile up. Now, they are forced to come out and defend their beloved IG as the golden child of the revolution. This might be a little too late, pastors. Tapang is now the proverbial horse who is always searching for a poisoned river to drink out of. Remember that you have people supporting your comments today. You will be alone when you have to answer for those statements in a court of law. It is only a matter of time before those whose family members who have been kidnapped start dragging you to court. Also realize that you have greatly endangered your friends and family. You have made them targets for retaliation. To all the warlords, Sako Ikomi, Ayabacho Lucas, and Ebenezer Akwanga, be reminded that we are keeping all the intricate details for a later date. Bosco Tanganda, the Terminator, thought he was the baddest warlord in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He may never be a free man again after the ICC dropped a 30-year sentence on his head. Some have continuously insulted and backstabbed this platform. Some of these same people have reached out to us to complain about Tapang Ivo's statements because they or their friends and family plan on traveling home for the holidays. Kidnappings have been going on for 3 to 4 years now. Why are some of these people only coming to terms with this truth now? Some of the same people complaining today were the one enabling and encouraging such boneheaded actions on Ground Zero. Today, they take offense because the threats have now shifted towards themselves and their loved ones. It is all fun and games until you start feeling the pain of our people. Our platform will remain steadfast and resolute in its mission to educate and empower our people. We will not fall into the trap of partisan politics. We are for the people and no particular group. Our view is proposed to provide investigative reporting content aimed at presenting the truth to our viewers. If you enjoyed our show, please support us by downloading our app on the Play Store and App Store, and by subscribing to our YouTube channel and following our social media pages. In the near future, all our investigations will be on our app. We urge you all to download the Cry Out Radio TV app now so you don't miss our next episode. Thank you all for your time and stay tuned.